Good evening, Daf Nun Ted Amud Aleph. Today's Daf's in honor of Stanley Cohen, the transport, so I can do the Daf. We are halfway down Amar Mor. Earlier we said Rabbi Shimon ben Yehuda, Rabbi Shimon. When we went, we say that the damaged item is evaluated with the land. Where the animal ate the grapevine vines, or he ate the parts of the tree of the fig tree. Hasmadar, but he actually ate the actual grapes that were budding. We view them as full ripened grapes. You charge them full price. And but the second part says, if you ate a half ripened item, only there do we look at them as they were fully ripened. Which sounds like that if it was budding, we would view it how much it was worth before and after. And you pay the difference. How can the implications, the inferences of both parts may contradict? Maravina keroch v'tani. Let's make a sandwich and teach the following. When would we say that the damaged item is evaluated with the land? Where the animal ate the vines or the fig trees, but if it ate the actual budding grapes or the budding figs or grapes, leaves them as fully ripened. This case is exactly what Yeshua said earlier, who says that you consider the growing fruits as fully ripened. The difference between them would be whether or not you consider the weakening of the vine as whether or not you view that as part of damage. We don't know who would hold in which. Right, because if you let's say, what does that mean? The weakening of the vine. If the grapes would have remained on the vine, it would be loosening or weakening the vine, right? So therefore, technically, if I took the grapes off, in a way, I'm doing you a favor by leaving your vines at a higher strength, right? So inside out type of hana'ah. But now we don't know who said what. Something was well, where are we going to specify? Which Tana takes into consideration the fact that even though you're damaging someone, you're helping them in the long run. Person who rapes women does not pay for pain. Right, referring to a betula. And eventually, when she would get married, she would suffer the same pain. So therefore, it's a matter of time. But it's different when she's with her husband when she gets married. It would have been with consent, versus over here was not with consent, and therefore it's a different type of thing. Where it says, those come into the following as well. Saying Tanya. We in regarding a person who hit a woman that caused her miscarry, you deduct the money for a midwife, meaning if you nowadays you could do like the nurse. The baby nurse. Someone who causes damage for the baby lady to miscarriage, you pay X amount, but you subtract the amount of money you'd have to spend for the midwife because you quote unquote saved him for that. Ben Azaimer, just deduct the extra food she would have eaten had she been pregnant for the remaining of pregnancy. That which we said you do for the midwife, you also deduct the food. That you do the food. We don't deduct from the midwife, because the guy could tell him, my wife would have given birth by herself, but only by I wouldn't have needed the midwife, exceeding the nurse, my wife doesn't need the nurse. Okay. These rabbis were posek halacha according to Nachman, evaluating a tree regarding 60, that we had the case before was Reish Galuta. The conversion of a they evaluated a palm tree with a small amount of land, right? And therefore, they have to consider the halacha followed him regarding the tree. And in the halacha followed the Reish Galuta in the case of the Persian palm tree. Another case, Eliezer Zaira, the young Eliezer, he was wearing black shoes because he was mourning. The walking in the officers of the Reish Galuta found him. Why are you wearing these mourning shoes? I'm mourning over the destruction of Bet Mikdash. I'm really at Hashibit the Tablu Yerushalayim. Are you Hashuv enough? Are you Tamid Hacham enough to be mourning in Yerushalayim? So what do you have? I think he was just being horny, like, oh well, I'm a big tzaddik, I'm mourning in Yerushalayim. It's Abu Habushu, they took him to prison. Amalahu Gabra Rabba Anna, he's like, I'm a big rabbi, you shouldn't be putting me in prison. I'm on the level to be mourning in Yerushalayim. I'm a big rabbi. I'm related, I told him, I'm a big rabbi. He told them, oh, either ask me a question, I'll answer it, I'll ask you a question, and we'll talk and learning. So they said, I'm related, you ask. He said, my man the ka'at's kufra, someone who's cutting down someone else's dates. My mission does he pay? I'm related, mission the kufra, he paid the value of the dates. Then he said that, but how about if not, but eventually we ripen grapes. Amalei said, okay, Mishnah Dimitari, pay the value of ripened grapes. Amalei said back to them, checkmate. But he didn't take ripe dates, he took half dates. So tell us what's the answer. Amalei, he said neither. Bishishim, you evaluate regarding to the field of 60, and you deduct. Amalei, mine Amar Kawatahu says like you, Amalei, ha Shmuel Hai Ubet Deno Kayam. He said Shmuel and his Betin, which is still existence. You can ask him, they'll say that I like go on court to them. They asked his Betin, they said yes, he's good, the guy's holding, and they released him from prison. The guy you right fruit, you pay the value of the produce itself and not the land. Why? Because the pasuk says, you are paying for the guy who consumed someone else's field, which teaches that you evaluate the damaged produce. Hani, that still applies to something that still needs the field. Hani, but over here regarding the ripe fruits, doesn't need the field, not growing anymore. The Anayu Kamishan, Bamishan, you're paying it on their own merits. Amarav Huna Varhia, Amarabi Abal, Dan Ram, Kirabina Erav, Rule Vermeer, and Jernaha, who Pasak, the Vishmani, who was Pasak, the Vishman. Dan Rav Kirabina, what does it mean? Vermeer, Tanya, Katab Verishon, Below Hatmalo. If you wrote a document selling a property to someone, but he didn't sign for him in the agreement, if it wasn't signed, and then he wrote the field to the second guy and wife, and he did sign, meaning if the husband sold 2 fields in his marriage, and he sold the first one and his wife didn't sign, and the second one he sold but his wife did sign, she lost. She can't collect in the 2 fields. Did it mayor? I considered to the second sale just to make my husband happy. What do you want for my life? I was trying to make him happy but not causing problems, but I still want my rights to my ketubah. Ripe fruit, pay for ripe fruit. You pay the exact value for ripened fruit because it's not part of the pasuk, because it is already it doesn't need the land anymore. New Mishnah. If someone's piling up stacks of grain on his friend's property without his permission, then the other animal ate that guy's animal ate this thing, patur, the owner of the field's patur. Then who's the animal got damaged, the owner of the grain is chayav. If he piled it with permission, the owner of the field is chayav. Lematnan lo krebi. Maybe our Mishnah is not like Rabbi Danasi. The Ikarabi, Rabbi Danasi, Ha'amar Ashegabela Baal Radishmor. We had earlier that the rabbi mentioned that that the owner would not only allow you to keep it there, but the owner would have to take responsibility to watch it in order to be chayav. Marpapa, we say no. Even Rabbi will hear. Here's referring to the watchman of the granary. They came in the Marle Ayel the Gadosh, Ayel the Entar the Chahu. We're saying it's the same case, meaning it's the security guard of the granary. So when he's telling you, yeah, you put your stuff here, that's him saying, I will watch it, and therefore it makes sense. Okay, fire in the hands of a chashuv. You're patur from man, but you're chayav in shemayim. Shalach b'kiyav is not with a regular guy. Hapikah have regular guy chayav. Echad Mabiyat the or whether you Haviyat the or Rabbi brought the fire, Bechad Vit Saisim, whether someone else brought wood on the fire, Maviyat Asim Chayav, one who brought the wood is Chayav. Echad Aviyat Asim, someone brought wood, Bechad Aviyat or and someone else brought the fire, Amaviyat or Chayav. The one who brought the fire is Chayav. If someone else came and found it, the one who found it is chayav. If the wind found it, they are all patur, right? So in regards to the two cases so far, with the wood and the fire, right? In regarding the wood and the fire, the first case, the second guy's chayav, because regarding the first case, where the first guy brought fire, second guy brought wood, the guy brought the wood chayav because it allowed the fire to grow. Regarding the second case, without the wood, without the fire, there's nothing there. So the guy who brought the wood, fire to the fire, the one who brought the fire to the wood would be chayav. Okay. Nugmana. Referring to the case of the deaf mute, regarding the hashu, you gave him a hot coal, and the deaf mute fell into the flame. That's when you're chayav b'dei shemayim b'na adam. You gave him an actual flame. Chayav. You're chayav for handing it over. My time. Why? Ma'asav kagamalo. Your action literally goes. You're handing the guy a live weapon, quote unquote. Riach Namar says, "Actually, must even to hand on fire." Matur. My time. It's about the control of the hashu caused it. The first guy not chayav until he handed him over actual thorns, silta, chips of which are gonna flame that hova them because you're handing him the full package to damage. If you sent it with the regular guy, the regular guy is chayav. The one who wrote the pasuk, the Mishnah, as blowing as liba, you're not mistaken. One time niba, one who says niba is not mistaken. Right? They both work. Man time liba, liba is good. It's balabat esh. Pasuk said labat esh. Man time niba, they bore nivs for time. Right? Both all these are the shonot of blowing and fire. Okay, the batad ruach regarding the wind that's blowing the fire. Eres patur. Why? If the guy was fanning the fire, then the wind blew it out. In yesh believe boy, if there was enough force in the guy's fanning to make it, then he's chayav. But not patur. If he wasn't enough to do by himself, he patur. Am I why? It's a little bit like someone who throws something on Shabbat to sort the item with the wind, and the wind blows it out. So he didn't do it by himself, but the wind helped him. That's still considered Zorah. You're chayav doraita, winnowing. No, the fire wasn't, the wind wasn't working in tandem with him over here. He was fanning it from one side, and the wind blew it from the other side. He was fanning the fire with a regular wind, and the wind was changed, and it hit the fire with a heavier wind, unusual wind. Because in another case, he was warming his hands on the fire, like he was blowing on his hands and warming himself by the fire. He was breathing on it, not actively trying to blow it out. Another answer about Shemar, it's the wind. We say that when you're winnowing and you're throwing something in the air and the wind's helping you, you're chayav. Because Torah says you're not allowed to do things that are considered milacha, and that's considered milacha. But over here, regarding damages, it's considered grama, indirect damages. You're just causing it to happen. Regarding damages, you are patur. We'll stop here.